is my place, and I am welcome.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to York Region's Sunday online service today. We're so glad you're here. And here we are, the 1st of August. The month of July has gone by already. It's for me, it feels like it's gone by quickly. Once again, just like to say welcome, welcome. Today's speaker is Jacquie Clark. Jacquie discovered unity over 16 years ago and realized she had found a home for her heart. She's a chaplain trainer, a celebrant, and an eternal optimist. Today, she'll be sharing her insights on the power of will to create our lives. And now, let's join together and sing Swing Wide the Doors of My Heart. All right, Daniel Namo.
Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Here we go now. Doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. I'm not holding it in anymore. I'm gonna shout it out loud. I understand now what I'm here for, and what this life is about. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand. About lending a hand. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. There's a voice that I've heard for years. I learned to keep it inside. Well, now it's coming in loud and clear. I want a deeper life. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's
Now, as we gather together today, we center an intention to listen with an open heart to the words of wisdom shared through song and speech. We swing wide the doors of our heart to experience not only with our physical senses, but with our spiritual understanding as well. We feel Spirit guiding us on our journey. For this, we are truly grateful. And now we say, thank you, God, for the opportunity to be here today. Amen. Here at York Region, we have a vision statement. Created that we have this actually Unity Worldwide Ministries created this vision statement, and we have adopted it. Shall we say it together? A world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And what is ours to do here at York Region? Our mission statement to focus on is we are a vibrant, thriving spiritual community serving the world by embodying unity principles of higher consciousness. And to tie that all together, let's say our affirmation. God is, I am, we are together transforming the world. The month of August, we are focusing, Unity all over the world is focusing on the power of will. And Jacquie will be talking about that today. And now it's time for the daily word. And Diane Whitehorn will be reading it for us.
Good morning, everyone. It's an honor to be here, to be able to read the daily word today. And for Sunday, August the 1st, the word is radiance. And it comes from John 1, verse 5. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not overcome it. And the affirmation, the Christ presence within is my radiant source of good. On a clear day, when a stray cloud passes across the sun, I notice the suddenly diminished light. Then, looking up, I see brilliant rays of sunshine surrounding the cloud. Instead of hiding the sun, the cloud helps me see and appreciate the sun's radiance. As the sun lights the earth and is the source of its energy, the Christ, the divine presence within me, is my light and the source of everything that I need in order to live brilliantly and joyfully. When, like a passing cloud, an obstacle or challenge along my path may seem to dim my Christ light, I respond by looking up, by raising my point of view. I am reassured and strengthened, knowing that the divine radiance is shining as brightly as ever. No cloud can dim the divine light in me. And if we could say the affirmation together again, please. the Christ presence within is my radiant source of good. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane. During the month of August, the entire Canadian Unity Movement affirms prosperity, peace, and harmony for these centers. Unity Center of Winnipeg in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and Unity Christ Center of Etobicoke in Etobicoke, Ontario. Again, we affirm prosperity, peace, and harmony for these centers. Here at York Region, we have a Prayer Chaplains program. And if you are feeling you would if you are in need of prayer, you can contact us by the email and the phone number on the screen. It is a blessing for us to pray with you, as well as giving you a blessing. And if you need immediate prayer, you can go to you can call Silent Unity at 1-800-NOW-PRAY, and they are there 24/7, and they will pray with you immediately. All right, we have another song by Karen Drucker, I've Got the Power.
I've got the power to make all my dreams come true. I've got the power, there's nothing I can't do. I've got the power to be anything I want. I've got the power inside of me. I've got the power inside of me. Every day I'm wasting my time thinking that someone else is gonna do it all for me. I've got to get up, get out, get it, just get started. Take one step towards my destiny. I'll define my direction with clear-cut intention. Declare what will be and then watch it come to me. 'Cause I've got the power to make all my dreams come true. I've got the power, there's nothing I can't do. I've got the power to be anything I want. I've got the power inside of me. I've got the power inside of me. There are days when I feel that I'm just no good. Days when I don't even wanna try. But when I stop, look and listen and surrender, I hear a voice of truth I cannot deny. And it says, you know you can do it. Just get down to it. Have faith in yourself and the will to see it through. 'Cause I've got the power to make all my dreams come true. I've got the power, there ain't nothing I can't do. I've got the power to be anything I want. I've got the power inside of me. Yeah, I've got the power inside of me. In those times when I feel so frightened and it seems like I just can't go on, I've got to look deep inside, 'cause that's where I find the power, the power, the power inside of me. Yeah, I've got the power deep inside of me. Yeah, I've got the power. I've got it. I've got the power inside, deep inside.
And what's happening here at York Region? All right. Our weekly meditation, our live weekly meditation, is on hiatus for the month of August. And we're just taking a break, and we will be back in September. So we're looking forward to that again. Spiritual nuggets. Yes. This coming week, we'll be discussing an animated video of Catherine Ponder giving a lecture on the laws of prosperity. The name Catherine Ponder has been long been synonymous in unity circles with studying the laws of prosperity. Ponder became a minister in 1958, the same year a recession hit. She started teaching prosperity classes and went on to writing many books. She's still serving people today. So come and join us and hear this amazing woman's teaching. Next week, we have Wendy Carr with us again, and she's going to be talking about Myrtle and Charles Fillmore. August is the birth month of both of our Unity's co-founders. Join Wendy, licensed Unity teacher, as she shares how the spiritual faculty of will is demonstrated in Myrtle and Charles Fillmore's lives, leading to the creation of the Unity movement. We're certainly looking forward to that. And let's have another song now by Janice Sandfield, Amazing Things. And join in if you wish to.
You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings, and with every step you take, bless the progress that you make. The reason you live is there in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, you will do amazing things. All the places you will go, and the people you will know. Don't worry when or where or how. You don't need to know that now. You're on the right track. No need to look ahead or back. Just enjoy what this day brings. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. You don't have to work it out. Just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes deepest answers come when you're out there having fun. So close your eyes and take a breath and smile. Amazing,
everyone. It's all for you now. Jackie, take it away.
Yes, we are here. We are in the gap. We are in the gap. Let me ask you this. Have you ever in your lifetime had a really great idea for a project that you wanted to start? Like a book, let's say, or starting a meal, or painting a picture. And you had the idea of how you think it should go. But then when you got into the project, you started to realize that it was more than just you working on it. And it ended up morphing into something bigger than you had ever imagined it would be. Well, that's what happened for me this past month. And so here it goes. So what I'm seeing these days, folks, is that we are in a massive shift in consciousness. The world is waking up to our true divinity. We are waking up to our inherent power and presence. We are waking up to our infinite creative intelligence. We are waking up to embody more love, more compassion, and more understanding, not only for other people, but for ourselves as well. And the way that we begin is how we treat ourselves, how we talk to ourselves. And this ties in with how we care for the earth, because we are all connected, aren't we? If the oceans and the tides are affected by the cycles of the moon, and we are 80% water, then it only goes to show that we too are connected to the moon and everything that is involved with that. Makes sense, doesn't it? How do you treat yourself with more love? Well, there's a Jesus story that really brought this message home for me, and I'd like to share that with you. Now, in the book of Mark, it reads, that evening after sunset, the people brought Jesus, here we go. Oh, there we go. The people brought Jesus to all the sick and possessed. So basically what's saying here is that word had gotten out that there's a healer that's coming to town that's going to help you feel better. And that already shifts the consciousness of the village, because now instead of feeling depressed, they've got more hope. They have more faith because this guy with a superpower is coming to help them feel better. And this spurs a positive, energetic response within them. It goes on to say that the whole town gathered at the door. Jesus shows up at this village, and everyone who is suffering with some kind of affliction lines up at the door waiting to be healed. Can you imagine what that would look like? Just set the stage here. You've got women carrying babies. You have the elderly coming in on canes and crutches. You have the invalids and the severely depressed, right? Everybody has come. And the good news is that Jesus healed many who came. Now, it goes on to say in the next verse, very early in the next morning, while it was still dark, Jesus got up, left the house, and went off to a solitary place where he prayed. Now, Simon, one of his lead students and his disciple, went to go look for him. And Simon and his companions discovered him praying. And when they found him, they exclaimed, "Everyone is looking for you. What are you doing?" You know, you can imagine the dialogue that's going on now. Last night, you healed all of those people, and now they've told all their friends, and now they're all lined up at the door waiting for a healing. This place needs you, right? The people need you to continue your work. Let's go, right? Now, what's interesting is Jesus's response. And you know what he says? Without batting an eye, the guy says, "Let's go somewhere else," right? To the nearby villages, so I can preach there also. That is why I have come. Now that's his response. At that moment when the demand is the highest, he goes in what seems to be the opposite direction. He steps away to pray and ground himself, to reconnect to the God within him, to fill up that gap within him. And so my question is, what demands are weighing upon you right now? We've been living in a world of more, faster, faster, faster. And if you're doing good work, people just want more of what you have to offer. And if the demand gets really intense, you start losing sleep, you get grumpy, you make bad choices, right? Doesn't feel very good. In fact, the vision of a hamster on a hamster wheel sort of comes to mind right now, right? You just keep running and running. We've got to stop shooting on ourselves. We've got to free ourselves up from the social paradigms of not enoughness. Our mental health is vitally important just as much as our physical health. Because when you don't take time to care for yourself, you get really sick. And then energetically, that does nothing for the cosmos, right? We're all connected. So so what's interesting here is that when Jesus is told to come and start healing the second wave of sick people, he says, let's just go somewhere else. He doesn't even stop to pause and relax and to think about it. He's saying, no, we're out of here, right? He doesn't even second guess himself, which I think is kind of interesting. Have you been asking yourself questions like, why do I feel so tired? How am I going to get everything done? And then you begin to judge yourself for not being able to keep up, right? We've got to stop this shooting on ourselves. During these times, more than ever, the paradigms of how we are supposed to do things have been shattered. Look, we're not together in church anymore. I'm doing Zoom church. Look at that. There's something different. And we are opening up to new ways of doing and being and living from that space, from the gap within, aligning more with our purpose and creating a new way of being our best selves. Now let's get back to the Jesus story for a second here. As I was reading this in the book of Mark, it occurred to me, why doesn't he do a morning service, right? The demand is there. He could hang out for a couple more hours at least and do a few, do a little bit more healing. He could stay and do a morning service, let's say pancakes and hands-on healing, just help out a little bit more. Do you know what I mean? So why doesn't he do that? Why? Because the night before took something out of him. He understands energy. He's very sensitive to the exchange of energies. He understands at a very deep level the essence of giving and receiving, right? It just has to be. You know what I'm talking about here, folks, right? You give and you give and you give, and now you need to receive. You need to love yourself more. You need to fill in the gap. The emptiness that you feel inside, the emptiness that you feel is only natural when you've given so much of yourself. Nature shows this so beautifully in the way that it has to be a balance, right? It just has to be. I mean, look at it. The sun came up this morning, so it's going to come down tonight. We breathe in. We got to breathe out. It's natural. It just has to be. So Simon and his friends come to get Jesus, and he can't understand Jesus's response. In fact, Jesus doesn't waste a minute in defending his decision. His response was to just let us go somewhere else. Just let's go to the other village. And this way, he knows what is his to do, and he is making himself available to everyone. Folks, there will always be needs. There will always be someone wanting more of you. And our way shower Jesus has a deep center of knowing. He knows about this space, this divinity within him, and he keeps returning to it again and again. I got thinking about the meaning of the gap because it can mean so many things. And for most people, it means that space, that emptiness between two things. But really and truly, we know that there is never any nothingness in space because God is there too. God is within and with all. And yeah, it's God potential. That gap is basically God potential waiting to be formed. You see, Jesus, he knows what is his to do. There's no guilt. He's not second guessing. There's only this pure, authentic understanding that this is what he came here to do. There is no doubt that Jesus is very clear on what he is to do and how he is to do it, right? Jesus turned to God in the morning, and he does it always throughout the day. He used his will, his freedom of choice, to determine how to proceed. And that came from a kind of flow state instead of an intellectual space. There wasn't any shoulding. In fact, in my opinion, I think we should take should out of the dictionary, right? Because really, what is should, right? Shoulding is just someone's projection on us of how they think it should be, right? When we change from the thought of I should, or that inner talk of I should, to something like I choose to, or I can, or I desire, then what we're really doing is we're taking back our personal power, right? Now, as a mother of four, you know, this reminds me of how much in my life I strove to take care of my family, putting them first and putting myself last at my own expense. For I got sick many times. I was flat on my back afterwards. And to tell you the truth, you know, as much as I knew I had to take the time off, when I did do it, there's the voice in my head that made me feel guilty and lazy for having done it. Has that ever happened to you? So now I'm taking more time and keep on practicing to ensure that I'm getting better at being okay in the gap, in the quiet, in the rest, right? And just like Jesus, I actually had an opportunity this past month to get away. As luck would have it, a dear friend called me up and invited me to stay in her home while she had gone off on vacation. And I thought to myself, oh, what a perfect opportunity for me to just get away from it all and drop the phone, drop the cell phone, and just relax. You know, me, trees, rocks, and water, bliss, right? It sounded like a really great idea, but in truth, maybe not so great. And I'll tell you why. Because day one was just fine, settling in and all. Day two was when I started to feel sluggish. I felt the tension of, oh, what am I going to do now, right? I didn't have the distractions of cell phones and computer to take my mind off things, right? I was now purely in my thoughts. I was in what I would call the gap, God's apparent pause. And through this, I had felt the addiction to the busyness of life, right? I had gotten caught up again in the busyness of life. And this time of solitude was perfect because as much as I didn't like it at first, I realized that the thoughts that came up in my head were actually triggers for transformation. They allowed me to look at those things and to allow them to pass and to heal, right? And I felt the discomfort and I moved through it with so much ease and grace. Where am I? Sometimes I carry on so much I forget where I'm at. Oh, here I am. Thank you for this moment. So can we be okay in the gap? In just this moment, right? In this moment, this precious now moment, can we be okay in the gap? In this grace of space, I call it, allowing the Christ within to guide us, to go ahead of us, making crooked lines straight. Why do we feel so uncomfortable, right? When people ask us for more and we're exhausted, right? Do you feel tired? Yeah, of course you do. And you want to do something else. Of course you do. That's a sign, right? To try something new and to take time for yourself. Because if we're here to heal the world, we got to start with ourselves first. We have all given of ourselves probably more than we should have. We've put everybody else first. And when we take time to be kind to ourselves, when we change the internal chatter of not enoughness, not smart enough, not fast enough, not good enough, to I am good enough and I am capable and I am beautiful and bountiful and blissful, then we turn things around, right, for the better. And it all starts by being in the gap and listening to that still small voice. In this case, GAP stands for God's apparent pause. And the good news is, if God can create the gap and is the gap, then chances are God's going to fill in that gap for you. If God is for us, then who is against us? That comes from Romans 8:31. There is something amazing waiting for us the moment we surrender to the gap, moving us out of who we are into who we can be, right? The potential is there. Trouble is, we always want to control the outcome, but the truth is we can't always control the outcome because God is in charge. Stay present to yourself, stay in the now moment, and be with your feelings, allowing them to guide you. And in this way, the practice is to be an observer to your thoughts, just looking at your thoughts with a detached kind of sensation, right? Being aware. And know that there's nothing wrong with you, right? There's nothing that you've ever done that could make God love you any less, right? Now is the time to give yourself more compassion, more love, and more understanding. The world needs you, and the world needs that special gift that you have. Trust that you're doing it right. Is surrendering uncomfortable? Oh yeah. You got to be the observer and just notice, and with patience, surrendering and understanding, right? You will find again that deeper peace that passes all understanding. The world is waking up, everybody, awakening to inherent powers and presence that we had latent within us for so many years. And more than ever, it is vital to take time every day to get grounded in prayer and meditation, tuning within where God dwells. And in doing so, witness how you treat yourself and how you talk to yourself. In fact, you can become your own cheerleader. Yay, you, right? You are awesome and fabulous, and we are all connected, and you are vital to this outcome of the universe. And in that way, we heal the world. Now, next thing. What's really interesting, folks, I mean, despite the fact that I've really enjoyed doing this talk for you, is that a couple of weeks ago, as I'm in the process of creating this, I am in a little store. And lo and behold, I found this shirt. Here, I'll show it to you. There's this shirt on a hanger. And I'm thinking, how perfect, how universe is supplying all my needs, something to wear for this event for you. And this shirt is actually from the store G.A.P, the G.A.P, right? And so as I picked up this shirt, I thought about it for a while. And I thought to myself, yeah, it's from the store, the G.A.P. And, you know, it's funny how a lot of us go shopping every day for thoughts, right? And then my mind started to think and go, many of us shop at the worry store, right? Some of us stop at the fear store, and a few of us go shopping at the I'm not good enough store, the lack of self-worth store, right? Shop at the G.A.P, where God answers prayers, another acronym for you. With God, there's no worry, there's no fear, no lack of self-worth. God is everywhere present. God is right where you are. Isn't that nice to know? There is never a moment or a place that you can never be without God, right? And if you're feeling that you're in an in-between place, know that God is there, raising your spirit and setting your sights for brighter tomorrows. Know that God is going ahead of you, preparing the way for even brighter futures. Whenever you go through change, you will always be in an in-between place. Whenever you feel like you're in a gap, just remember, God answers prayers. There are times in our lives to move still, and there are times in our lives to move forward. When you tune within, you will know. Will is the capacity to make choices. I can, I choose, I desire. Start with those things. When we are aligned with spirit, we make wise choices then to be the best people we can be. And that's why the Jesus story is so inspiring. He says, let's go to the next village. I was reflecting on this. So let me ask you this. How do you feel when someone else asks for time off from work, needs to step away and recharge their batteries? How do you feel for them? You say, yeah, go ahead, go do what you need to do. You'll come back stronger, right? But when it's turned on yourself, you go, no, that's fine. I'll just do all the work, right? We've taken on the loads too many times to count, I'm sure. But when you get really quiet and look at those triggers inside, right, you'll see that they are just triggers for transformation, right? Something new to work on, right? Trust your own deep knowing. Let yourself off the hook. Why not make time now through listening, sacred meditation, affirmative prayer, study, and high fellowship, and get into a flow state, right? More and more, as you get quiet and look at the triggers, you will see them now as a gift of transformation. That'll probably be my next talk. Love yourself. Trust yourself. Talk lovingly to yourself more than ever now. The world needs you. Lighten the load and free yourself from the burdens that you have been holding on to. Let them go. The world is waking up now, and it's discovering more peace, compassion, and acceptance, not only for others, but for ourselves as well. After all, we're all connected. In closing, my prayer for you is that you take the time that you need. May you pause before each decision and opportunity to get quiet and check into the Christ within. And may God give you the work that is uniquely yours to do. And may God show you how to do it with so much ease and grace. And so I invite you now to get quiet in your chairs as we play some lovely meditative music. Get still, and then I'll guide you through today's meditation.
I am willing to be the change I wish to see. And I know that it's all love, 'cause I'm willing the still small voice in me. I am willing to open my mind. I am willing to be the change I wish to see. And I know that it's all good, 'cause I am willing to listen to the still small voice in me. I am willing to open my life. I am willing to be the change I wish to see. And I know I can trust, as I am willing to listen to the still small voice in me. Yes, I am willing to listen to the still small voice in me.
Taking this time now to turn together in consciousness, joining our minds with God mind. I invite you to breathe in deeply, exhaling deeply. And doing this a couple more times to really tune in to the power and presence of God. Allow your breath to link up to that still small voice within. This is your time, and breathing helps to center you. And in this now moment, we release the non-essential activities of life and let them wait as we enter into this most essential activity of supreme nurturing. Bringing our mind, awareness, consciousness into the center of your being, and thus the center of the world itself. And if these words that I share with you now resonate with you, allow them to become the words of your own heart. And just like Jesus, I have turned to the inner sanctuary of quiet prayer, moving away from the crowds to gather courage, strength for my mission in life. Today I follow Jesus's example. I practice the silence of prayer. I am centered in the silence of prayer. And during this time, I receive renewed strength as I inhale and exhale. In the silence of prayer, both my mind and heart are free of cares. In the silence of prayer, God inspires me with new vision, wisdom, and confidence. God's love and strength pervade my mind, body, and soul. I am prepared for and poised for any circumstance that occurs in my life. And I know what to do and when to do it, as I am guided from the Christ within me. I take a moment in silence now to journey deeper into this secret, safe haven, my secret place of the Most High. I fully realize God's ever-presence in my life, so active, so full, so vibrant. I fully realize God in every moment of my human uncertainty. God gives me confidence and a power that is greater than my human strength. And I know that God grants me favor. And I have a glimpse of the good that comes through this period of change. And I know that every second of every day that God answers prayers. Breathing in, being aware of breathing in, breathing out, being aware of breathing out. And I invite you to come back into this room, onto your chair, and feel it supporting you. Allowing your eyes to flutter open when it's time. And give thanks to God for this time and this place together. And so it is. Amen.
There we are. I'm back. All right. Thank you so much, Jackie. That was wonderful. I liked your first acronym. Oh, I liked them both, but I liked your first one, God's apparent pause, and how when you went away and the next day where there were no distractions, it was a little nerve-wracking for you until you realized that it was a time to just be. That was fantastic. And I also loved that to use different words. I choose, I can, and I desire. That was great. Thank you so much. All right. We are a self-supporting, 100% funded community. Funded by, the generous love offerings from our community. And your financial contribution allows us to inspire and support one another and all those who join us now and in the future. And how to do this? We have our internet, we have our Interact transfer, our website, you can send a check, and all that information is on the email blast that comes to you weekly. Now, let us say our love offering blessing together. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. God is my source. Thank you, God. All right, I guess we'll have, oh, there it is.
I am so grateful for all I am. I bring gifts to share. I am part of God's plan. I am so grateful for all I am. I bring gifts to share. I am part of God's plan. Love, peace, abundance flow through me. I see my life unfold perfectly. Love, peace, abundance flow through me. I see my life unfold perfectly.
Let us say our community blessing together now. Unity of York Region is abundantly blessed. Creative people are drawn to us. Divine ideas flow through us. Financial resources bless us, and we accomplish mighty works together. And our prayer for protection, which will be followed by the peace song and then our go forth blessing from Robin. So let us say our prayer for protection now together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as Creator, family of step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
We are now surrounded and enfolded by the pure white light of Spirit. Nothing but good shall go from us, and nothing but good shall come to us. Divine love expressing through us. Go forth in peace, joy, and radiant good health. Amen.
Have a blessed week, everyone.
This is my